Hey guys, what up? What up? How are we doing today? Oh. I am doing good, amazing even. I have played around with my Herald of Agony POB, and I really like where I got it to. So I think today the plan is we're going to make a leak start version for it, and not necessarily something I'm going to leak start because I don't plan on leak starting it, but because I'm going to leak start Absolution most likely. Um, but I do want to make a cheaper version because this version is not the cheapest. This is like you have you have money in here, you know. So speaking of money, might as well corrupt this. Just +2 socketed. I guess socketed minion would be the best. +1 socketed gem would also be just that would honestly be the most DPS. So I think I'll go with that. The reason socketed gem is so big is it levels up. Oh, that's 72. Sheesh, that's 72 mil. It levels up Herald of Agony, but it also gives Empower. So Herald of Agony still gets 2 levels. Or 6 levels from this Empower, which is insane. Insanity. But then there's also like everything else getting just a tad bit more damage. But this is the main reason here. So 2 levels. And everything else getting a bit more damage. And of course, 2 levels here is still substantial. Because this is a level 38 gem at this point, I think. 72 mil DPS is very respectable. Very respectable. Alright, so we're going to make a cheaper version of this for a character that just has, I won't say the bare minimum of currency. Something that I could realistically just dive straight into as of when I decide to go into this build. Well, when I decide to roll this character, because this is in my second build. So that's what we're going to be working on today, basically. Ascendancy wise, I do want to go into this guy, and I do want to copy the ascendancy nodes. I believe I have everything from here. There's the mana reservation, there's the Herald of Purity node we're going to be taking, there's the virulence node. I guess I should also add +2 maximum number of I mean, it really doesn't matter, but maximum number of sentinels of purity. Two. There. Now it is complete, but this needs to go. Actually, no, this is actually part of this. It's only part of this ascendancy, and then there's this one. I could actually write their names individually. Let's do that. Announcements. Herald. And then let's move this here. All right, ascendancies. The first one is coming calamity, right? No, it's no. Yeah, it's coming calamity. Yes. Then we have Herald. No, future. Nostalgia. Disabled. Then we have Future guilt, which is the one that's not disabled. As you can see, this is red, this is blue. Then this is Scourge. Scourge has max purity. I guess I should do. While let's get it as accurate as possible. While you are affected. So this is Scourge, which has virulence. Speaking of virulence, which, how was this written here? Because like Scourge is, yeah, this is commented, it's not actually implemented. That is not implemented. It's so weird that it's not. Anyways, this is the plus 25. 1 2 3 4 5, and then we have plus 3 level, which is Apocalypse. That way I can easily remember all the names. So that's it. 72 mil. Tell me I copied the ascendancies as well. Yeah, ascendancies. All right, Herald of Agony. Makes low budgets. Legacy of Phrecia. I feel like them giving us new ascendancies to play around with. I don't know. It's such a surreal feeling knowing that this is only going to last a month. Like I'm looking at all of this, like I would so love to just have access to this, but I mean, I get it. I get it. So first things first, what am I going to want to use early on? My golems, of course. So we'll start off with Herald of Agony. I think for the most part, a lot of the uniques like Circle of Nostalgia, I'm still going to need to have. I don't really need the... I'll need the Chaos Res. Early on, I might need Agony damage, maybe. But I will need buff effect as well. We're going to go mid-roll on everything. And of course, we're still going to take one rank only. We're not going to use AG because that'll cost money. We're not going to use any affliction corpses because that'll cost money. We're going to stay away from jewel sockets most likely because we don't need them per se. Like we're going to go specters, but we're going to go frenzy charge most likely because that would help us with some cast speed. And I think then we just go debuff from there. How much minion defense do we need? Not that much, but maybe I want to get a bit, just a little bit. Herald of Agony, what 6 link do I want to have with you? Including full DPS. Hail Spike. Non-awakened. I could still use Empower, mind you, because Empower is not bad. 4 White Triad's Grip would also probably be off limits. But I would still want it to do chaos damage. So what I would do... By the way, Withering Touch. Is there a version of this I can do without disvalling? I don't think so. I don't think that is a playstyle I would like. So I wouldn't want it. That said, I will probably still make this version not have a Svalin, which would be disgusting, but it is what it is. We're going to go Eldritch Battery. We're still going to take this. Enemies you poison, cannot deal crits. We're going to stay away from, like, we can't stay away from, I was going to say we're going to stay away from jewels, but we can't. We realistically just cannot. Cluster jewels, large, reducing an 8 passive minion damage one that has life, I think. What up, French? How you doing? Welcome. Have you seen the new ascendancies? Theorycrafting is the best part of the game. Oh, you know this. It is hands down, without a doubt, the single best part of the game. Like, it's so fun. It's almost addicting. Like, PoE is the game we test what we've done in PoE. Basically, PoE is a test environment. I start to feel too old for that cycle of hype down, hype down. Really? So are you gonna play? Do you think you're going to check out the event? I think I just go live, to be honest. Maybe dexterity. Maybe we wouldn't skip live. We might just skip live, to be honest. Medium cluster jewel. Minimum 4. Minion damage while you have a herald. Pure agony. And that's it. I want to do lots of stuff, like explore the spell slinger stuff, but on the other hand, all that's to be splitted on by the business aspect of the company. How is the business side of the company spitting on what you want to try? I'm so confused. I start to think I have better stuff to do with my time. I am so confused. Like watching other stuff. Living vicariously through me, I see. I mean, yeah, I'm happy to have you here. I will not say no. Convocation. Where do I want to path? I don't care for this guy. I don't really care for anything in this general vicinity, so I actually do want to go through there. I don't care for leech. I don't care for recovering life on minion death. Don't really care for anything there, so we're just going to do this. I don't think I would care about. I think I do come here though. I think this is 100% something I do. I don't particularly care for most things here. I will path here 100%. I need these nodes. So ultimately, that is one area I am trying to get to. This POB, I want to stop at level 90 if I can. For now, let's just turn off the sockets because maybe we use it, maybe we don't. I don't know the prices of jewels, so I can't really say. By lab 2, we already don't have access to auras. No, by lab 1, right? Coming Calamity disables our auras. So we already don't need this. Because this is level 54, we're in lab 1 already, easily. Among one of these is going to be a small cluster jewel. And you are going to have armor. You're going to be negative, and you're going to have enduring composure. And you'll be my source of endurance charges early. And then we're going to path down there for this. For here, we're going to go accuracy rating. And just like that, I think our agony crawler has... that should give our agony crawler almost... okay, maybe not 100%, but then... cold iron point would be the dagger. We use that, give it 3 levels, and I also need to use Unholy Might on kill because I don't have an AG, so the kills will be attributed to my Agony Crawler, which should make it so he has that. Single target wise though, the problem is that I won't have Unholy Might for single targets, which is a problem, I think. But this is a level 92 character already. $93. So where can I cut out points from? I would like more life. Where can I get more life from? I would like to have a Dialas early, but I don't know that I can afford it. I don't know that Dialas has a place in a low budget. It could, but probably doesn't. So I don't you know. I don't want to say we do Dialas when we don't, realistically. If I pass through here, I can maybe cut out some of these nodes, but then the problem comes from I don't want to lose here. So... could cut here out. That would also solve the problem at hand. We need a simulator UI to PoE. I know, right? They will never agree to that. It is not a part of the vision. Like, it will actually be hilarious, but like... and I understand why they won't. Like, it makes sense to not, but, you know. Oh. I wonder, is this not even necessary? We can get mastery here and here. One, two versus 1, 2. Yeah, I think that's... guess I could also just path through here to take 2 extra points. For my specters, this would make a world of difference early on. But I'm also not taking any specters I can't afford to lose, so... yeah, we're just going to ignore that. Going to do this. Level 91. Now if I were to path through here, then can I save points anywhere? I mean, I'd get the minion damage node, which would obviously be nice. But then we'd be like 1, 2, 3 connection. Then we can cut out where. I don't think it's going to be shorter unless I had something to do here. Now if I went here and I connected this through here, ignoring this area, then sure. This is fine for the tree though. Kind of like all those Vampire Survivor games. Life, the Scion node, Templar area is really Thread of Hope friendly. Oh, you mean here? Thread of Hope isn't Herald of Agony friendly, let's say. What do I mean by that? Thread of Hope has negative auras. This build struggles with res. Like this build actually is just begging for slots to have res on. And I don't think it can handle that. Not to mention this is a lower budget. So it would really struggle with that. But you did give me an idea. Nah, I really can't. Because like I'm looking at this guy, maybe because I can't use it and pick up this and this, and I think this as well in like in 3 points, right? But then this is using really good gear and my early res is just barely. Now keep in mind my chaos res is fine, it's nice, but like this is because of golden rule. If I didn't have 100 poison, I'd only be 2 over cap. Now I should always be on 100 poison so long as I have an enemy with it like in front of me or stuff. So like I should always be there. But you know, I don't want to start taking. I don't want to have to ramp up to my chaos res being crap. Oh, let's say crap, capped. I can spare to drop the chaos res here, but like there is no all res on a divine crown. Maybe on a ring, but then my rings already have all res but in bigger rolls. So like there really isn't much I can do in terms of res or dropping suffixes and making up for Thread of Hope. And that's like the only thing. If this build wasn't quite as starved, in case you're wondering why it's so starved, it has a shit ton of uniques. Like it's using Sphalin, Diala's, Triads, Grave Ashes, Circle. Like it has all of that going on for it, and its pathing is, you know, cluster jewel pathing. And it's ironic too, because like I went from making this POB where I was actively avoiding like all early res on like the tree because I didn't want res because minus lightning res. I went from dealing with this where I'm actively avoiding res to this one where I was genuinely just begging for any res from anywhere. Just give me. I'm not picky. Just give me res, please. Give me res, please. But I was able to cap my resistances, so like that's fair. As well as my attributes. Dex will actually be a problem to cap in this build in game. That's the one worry I have. The one worry I have for this guy is capping Dex. This elusive number right there. That is the one thing, because realistically the way I do it in this POB is by having dexterity on every single large cluster jewel. Helps a ton to do it, right? And that means I'm kind of limited in the cluster jewels I have, and ideally you'd be able to find 2 that have renewal and dexterity, which of course there should be a number of trades. It's not like it should be break the bank money or anything. It shouldn't be expensive to get renewal on an on an 8 passive that has dexterity. It should be decently doable. And if it's not, you can just craft it by spamming life harvest reforge until you get dexterity and you call it a day. Because renewal should pop up with life, which has a life tag. Now getting renewal and life and dexterity, that might be a bit tricky. That is what when you're trying to buy, it could be a bit pricey. Now by price I mean like if you do like 1 divine, 2 divines, nothing, no more than that. So level 91, I think I'll leave it at level 91, which means let's go figure out other stuff. I don't know what shield I want on this right now, but support gems, let's see. Minion damage seems like a no-brainer. So Unholy Might is kind of a weird one. With this node, I should have my minion, my Agony Crawler, do chaos damage while I'm clearing. But on single target, he's gonna split between phase and chaos. And I don't know how I feel about that realistically. Like I'm thinking what curse do I want and stuff like this, but I think I might just end up going for, I think I might just end up ignoring, you know, trying to convert its damage, but instead going for phase scaling. Because at the end of the day, we're going to get a whole bunch of phase. Now, some of that will go to chaos, but like primarily it is phase. And Triad's grips are common, right? It's not unheard of to need a Triad grip early. It's not a rare unique. The problem with it is that getting 4 white sockets may not be the easiest. You can get 3 whites via omens, but like low budget, you don't want to have anything that you're trying to use omens for either. I'm kind of afraid of the unique / gear state of affair. It's quick and dirty league, so gearing will be hard. It depends. I agree, but I think there's enough hype for the events to where the number of people to farm those uniques will be online. That is what I believe. I think there will be enough people farming on like Pox League. I think there will actually be a good turnout, so the market is alive at least for like a week, 2 weeks. You know, like people will play for a decent amount of time. Now, knowing that it's a 1 month league, give or take, they're obviously going to extend it, but knowing that that is what was announced initially, a lot of people are going to actually just stay playing, because once these SNSs go, they're gone, right? They're not showing up unless you make a private league, and nobody wants to make a private league because you have no market and yada yada. So, you know, I expect the turnouts for this event to, like, the population to actually stay healthy going forward. That is my expectation. I could be wrong, right? But I think, I don't think it's far-fetched to believe what I just said. I think there will be a tier 16 rush. Find the SNSC is bad, drop. It depends, right? I don't know how many people are, how many content creators are theory crafting. Oh, by the way, I should do this. Are theory crafting and, you know, making guide videos and whatnot before the event. Oh shit. I don't know how many are doing that. If enough big content creators do that, then I think less people would have that problem, because those builds should be, they should be good. Other creators hype everything. It's kind of their purpose in the ecosystem. We live to hype. But what I'm saying is, like, I think with builds being out, I don't think too many people would get to like T16 and then think the ascendancy is ban and drop, unless like people, unless the like. And then on the flip side, if content creators don't do that, then more people would make their own builds, kind of like how Fury 2 was. And with more people making their own builds, then yes, we run into you have a lot more people run into that problem, where they get to T16s, if they can get to T16s, where they get to red maps, I should say, and they just get shit on consistently, or they realize, like, the build is not the greatest, and then either they quit or they reroll or something. Now that said, I haven't seen any ascendancies that are outrightly bad, except which one is there any I would think is outrightly bad? Like, there's just I don't think I wouldn't know anyone that are just outrightly bad. There's nothing you can do, no salvation. Maybe Polytheist. Polytheist is actually quite underpowered. Like, this is, I can't think of a single build or archetype that would want this except literally Shockwave Totem for Lunaris. Because, like, what does Polytheist actually entail? Your ascendancy is giving you 10 cold rares, but like you can't be frozen. That's it. You have big regen, big flat life, but you can't use spells. Okay, maybe melees, they might want the regen for whatever reason, and then they might take the 30% more AD, because 30% more AD is a big amount, and this is just cutting regen and stuff like that. Maybe melee, but like this has no synergy with that. This has no synergy with that. This has synergy with that, to be honest, but like then they'd have to go like 1, 2, 3, 4, because this is the pathing you have to go through here. So then you did go this and this, but like they're not really moving, so like this is then anti-synergistic. This is just wasted on them, probably wasted on them. This could be pretty decent for them, so like maybe 1, 2, 3, but then they now have to pick between like this, like one of the others that are not, it's just awkward. Yes, like this so far has been the most meh ascendancy we've seen, the Polytheist. And then asides that, the others have their purpose. Wait, we do have Gambler, but let's not forget. I don't think many people are going to build Gambler. Maybe people who need some form of lucky would. But I can't think of too many scenarios where lucky is I really can't think of too many scenarios, at least. Gambler is bad by nature of the RNG in this game. Like, you don't want to get unlucky and then get one shot, but like maybe there's somebody out there that gets dopamine from that kind of gameplay, but like that's not me. That's just not me. Harbinger is also kind of meh, but at least with Harbinger I can kind of see its purpose. Like all the greater Harbinger of the Arcane giving cast speed or cooldown recovery rate, I can kind of see a universe where it's okay. Or as a witch, having temporal chains have no reservation means you can just have a free blasphemy curse, which also in turn means you can apply your explode very true. Like, I can at least see something here, right? I can see something. Antiquarian is kind of okay. It's very good defensively, can't complain. Daughter of Oshabi is like, it's okay. It has a few good nodes. Also, the Magi is very good. I can see some people going Illuminating Wisps. I don't know that they would want Illuminating Wisps and Spell Slinging. Like, I don't know that is going to be a thing. But like some people already build crafting around the shrines. That's also like an option. Like everything else has its place. Paladin has its place. Like I think someone told me who was it? There's basically somebody, like basically he told me by a streamer that was Theorycrafting LS on this. I don't remember the streamer right now, but and I can see why that would be. This is a strong ascendancy for that, because you can have early game you can have like 25 enemy stick increased damage, triple elemental auras. You can have conk ground, you can have a level 30 defensive skill. You can ignore the link side of it and just run with this early game and you'd be successful. So like even this, like it has its purpose. Maybe later on it falls off because like now you want to maybe these are not strong enough for you, or maybe they are okay but you would rather have a level 30 of an aura or whatever. Or maybe, you know, I don't know, it probably gets outskilled to a degree unless you're going like an aura bot or like that uses links. But like again, I can see the vision with that one, but like when I look at Polytheist, I'm just like, yo, what? I don't know what you're supposed to be. I don't know who would like you. I genuinely don't. Whisperer is obviously mana stacking bull characters heaven. Like it has in some very insane nodes. Even I can appreciate it. You know, Surfcaster is Zuma ascendancy, zoom, reverse chill, big base move speed, hold damage, can shock, big. It's a huge ascendancy for just blasting maps. You know, your lightning arrows would love Surfcaster to like they would. You can't get them away from that ascendancy, right? Servant of Arcali, of course, poison minions would love this ascendancy. Non-poison minions are, you know, a bit so with the ascendancy. You know, especially if you're not taking the Brood Guard, is like, okay, and you don't need Penance Mark, then you'll already cut. Then you only kind of realistically go like Envy and some other things, but like, you know, now granted, Envy is very strong, but unless you're like really good, just going Chaos minions. Like keep in mind, this also doesn't convert your Chaos minions damage to Chaos, so it's not like by going to ascendancy you're suddenly opting to Chaos damage. Like no, you still have to figure out Chaos conversion on some minions. But like again, purpose, they all have their purpose except this guy and maybe Gambler. Those are the two that if you run as a new player without any idea what you're doing, you might just end up in a situation where you have no other choice but to reroll. We do not have a teaser for today. Let me just confirm. No, I don't see anything. None yet, at least. I do expect teasers to come out today. Let me check. I guess now I have to start checking X because apparently they can post news there first before it's even on the sites or on Discord. So let's see, Path of Exile. Yeah, there's nothing. And their FAQ has not been updated, it looks like. Right? No, it hasn't. All right. So where were we? Yeah, it's not the league for a newbie if there are some. Yeah, PoE 1 has a lot of newer players coming from PoE 2 who are just starting to like they're appreciating the base game and seeing how good it is and everything. So I do expect newer players, but I'm hoping those newer players do know to look up a guide so they do not end up breaking their first if it's their first run, you know. It'd be a shame if that were to happen. So where was I? I was deciding what damage type I wanted to do. And while I am uncertain for now, I will just go vulnerability because worst case scenario, they do more fizz than they do chaos. But once they get unholy might, that means I need to take off unholy might. I guess when they are clearing, there's no particular need to curse. So like it doesn't matter. But then Withering Touch, I guess Withering Touch also helps because it gives fizz as extra chaos. So regardless of which element, we have 31% fizz as extra chaos here. And then that is on top of the 40% conversion we have base to give like 60-ish. This 60. 70-ish% of physical damage as chaos damage. And 60% as physical damage. So it's almost worth, I think it might honestly still be worth going Despair. What is my max? Do I want to run Enhance on a budget build? I'm not sure if I do. I would like to just focus on skills or gems that are in the vendor. So if I do that puts me at 45 max plus 1, 2, which is 10, 20, 65. Is Vaughn still the best bet here? Barely more so than Despair, so I'll go Despair. I think it's still low enough to where it can still benefit from. It can still benefit a lot from offering, so I will probably end up using an offering in this version. Squeeze out as much damage as I can. Okay. Support minions includes summon Chaos Golem, Stone Golem, Feeding Frenzy, maybe defensive, but let's see for now. Feeding Frenzy is active. Just off of this, we're chilling. Right, damage wise is fine for a low budget. The one problem I'm having with this variant is how many uniques can I think we would have access to, and I'm also going to have to avoid trigger with Svalin, right? Which means let's see, go to chest. Let's just say you're in my gloves or wherever. What uniques can I use? Svalin is kind of off limits. My helmet is rare, and my body armor will be rare most likely. The cluster I'll be paying to get to. I don't think it will be. Like realistically, you can just the base is cheap as shit. Typically, like it's not one of the contested bases, and even in a league that has an ascendancy for heralds, it depends on when you get it. Early, if it's like day one, then sure. I don't even think it's smart to league start Herald of Agony because it just requires way too much. So like I'm not thinking of it as a league starter, but more as just a low budget version. But yeah, where is it? Pure Agony. This guy, it has no tags, which means you can't really harvest Reforge. So all you have to do is just Orb of Alterations, which will take you on average 30 Orbs of Alterations and 8 Augmentations to get that. So it's not hard to get. It's just you just have to alt spam it, and you can easily get 30 early game. Just playing the game without even like having to do any. Why does this have a number on it? Is there a notification? Oh shit! Another 4. Okay, cool. Aristocrats.
I'm assuming you know. Are you gonna not believe me this time and call me a liar?
I just saw it 2 minutes ago. I already have it up.
Let's do this.
Not yet. Soon, but not. Puppeteer. Oh shit. Oh shit.
Yo,
Puppet fucking tier.
Dude, do you see this?
I just know I saw an animation.
The strength stacker. Wait, you're not looking?
I just glanced at them to see what ascendancies. So there's
Let's start with Puppeteer, please. We need to see Puppeteer. I will literally play this.
Okay, let's see. Give me a second. All right, chat. Where were we? We're going to start here, Hexbearer. You can apply. No, let's start. I want to start from the top. You know, go from left to right. But like Puppeteer is like, it's calling my name. I like it's there. This is the Minion one. All right, I'll look at the Minion one. I'll look at it. You can apply an additional curse. Hex is transferred to all enemies within 3 minutes when Hex enemy dies. So just free Hex Bloom and shit. Okay, let's go. That's already nice. Nearby enemies have at least 20% of life reserved. What the fuck? Is that node? I guess we skipped one. The one that builds up to that. Marination. Gain 20% of life as extra ES. Minions gain 20% of max life as extra ES. So Templar has this, which would help AG a lot, having that max life as extra ES. Oh shit, okay, cool. And then you have the nearby enemies have 20% life reserve. So like that's already just 20%, like you just cut out 20% of the that's reverse call right there, just don't exist. And keep in mind, when you on reserve. Alright, give me a second.
Happen.
All right, I'm back. Where were we? So that is nice. Feeding Frenzy. Oh, it should have an ascendancy. Let's not skip this time. Let's look at. Oh, there's this one. Putrid Conscription. Your minions spread caustic ground on dead, dealing this. Okay, that's fine. That's replica siege. No, that's siege breaker actually. Delete 30%? Isn't siege breaker like 10%? Siege Breaker. Siege Breaker is like 10%, right? Okay, it's 20%. It's 10% more. Okay, it's not as crazy. All right, feeding friend. No, I'm skipping again. That's you. Then we have Rotten Mind. Half of your strength is added to your minions. Oh,
25% increase.
What is this?
Dude, you're not even close yet.
What is that?
Because how does the strength stacker thing work?
So if you go Baron and you do this, Baron has half of your strength is added to your minions. So that would be basically your full strength is added to your minions. And then you have 25% increased strength. This is the Baron Ascendancy. Minions based attack crits is in an Ascendancy. What the fuck is that?
So what does that Feeding Frenzy mean? Like, what weapon would you then use with that Feeding Frenzy? Because don't people usually just go with that unique weapon?
No, the unique weapon is not like you don't go to that unless you really want crits.
This means you can go crit, right? Or is that just...
Yeah, it means you have a better chance at going crit, but like this means
but you're going aggressive, right? Like there's no way you don't go aggressive with this.
With this Ascendancy, 100% you go aggressive. 100%. Like there's no universe unless like you're using some already aggressive minion or something, but like you 100% want this.
Zombie Father or whatever his name is coming back.
So basically, if you really wanted to take advantage of the crits, you would have to go like a claw or something. But the problem with going a crit weapon is you would lose out on +2. But here's the thing: you can just go a regular wand. You can just go a regular wand and then get crit chance on your wand because wands have decent, like convening wands, as an example. Convening wands. They have a base crit of 8.3, so you just get regular. Like if you roll crit on this weapon, you're looking at over 10% already. Now it's still not great to scale crit to minions. Like even if you're at 13%, it's like how much increase are you really getting? You're still going to be like at maybe 50% unless you really scale it. But like it's a good starting point. So like this is crits. This is it's a big node. It's a big node. Graveyard shifts. For each nearby corpse, increase move speed. Raised zombie does not require a corpse. Your raised zombies count as corpses, so you don't even need desecrate to get your zombies up. And then we have flesh puppets. +4 to all raised zombie gems. Raised zombies have increased size. Don't care. This is insane.
I mean, it's good. It's really good, especially if you're taking them with Rotten Mites and then going. It's good.
Yeah, 4 levels is huge. And then we have Marionette as the last one. Weapons you animate create an additional copy. Animated Guardian deals increased damage per animated weapon. Animated minions melee attacks deal splash. This is just chains of command. Defenses of items attached to Animate Guardian. Also, there is no fucking way.
Yes.
But it said defenses, which means armor, evasion, ES. Meh. That's actually more meh than I first anticipated. It didn't say the armor applies to it. It said the defenses. So they're tankier, but like, okay. I'm thinking. Chains of command with this would work. It would help you get to your maximum amount of. It help you get to your maximum amount of minions faster. And I guess this second line is huge if you're going for an Animate Guardian build. I wish it was like animated weapons deal increased damage. But this is where you go if you wanted animate, I guess regular animate weapons as well. So you go this, your Guardian kills, your Guardian is dealing big damage and you're creating more weapons to increase his damage even further. Not bad. Overall though, this node isn't, this is a stupid node.
I think I found what I'm starting.
That strength is it's a stupid node. Jeez. What?
Does that mean you could just like what level requirement is Baron? You could literally just slap Baron on and be blasting or what?
Yeah, the Baron is like level 30 something, I think. The Baron. Level 26. So yeah, you can just slap that on and
max
profit.
number of raised zombies per strength.
Yeah.
And you get the leech.
And now that they have your full strength, they have that they just have that much more increased phase damage. Just because. Because why not?
I find the life as ES is nice. I think you get that on the tree though, right?
Life as ES, you can get that on the tree. Yeah, you can get that for your minions on the tree, but for you is insane.
But if you're strength stacking, Marination is good. So listen, what is the strength stacker picking? They're picking Rod and Might. They're definitely going Flesh Puppet, so they're taking the 4-pointer there. Do they have enough to get Marination as well?
Yes, you just ignore Feeding Frenzy.
I mean, you can't. Where's Feeding Frenzy? Yeah, you can't go Feeding Frenzy. That's. I mean, aggressive though. Dude.
Aggressive is strong, but like you're trolling if you're getting the because like it's only aggressive.
Think about the amount of life you would have with this amount of strength. It would be insane.
Exactly.
ES value.
You would.
Like, could you actually go
genuinely
EV?
be very
No,
tanky. You would be very tanky with your minions leeching and everything.
Insane.
You could even
insane.
You could technically even go low life because that is a stupid amount of ES. You could reserve your life.
Reserve and get more auras. What would you want to reserve for?
Maybe hatred. You know, it's phase as extra. It's phase as extra
Pride,
code.
Right? Is Pride the one that makes people take phase damage?
Yes.
Increased damage taken.
Yeah.
You could actually use Pride on this setup.
You could do a lot if you can reserve your life as well. Of course, you ignore the enervating presence. I mean, they have minus 20% life.
It's
like
nice,
whatever.
But it's not that good.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, for first slab, Rotting Might is insane, right? For first slab.
I don't know. It depends on how much strength you have then. If I had to say,
I guess you're right. Yeah. I mean, it's Templar start, bro. You're picking up strength nodes on the way to Witch.
But like, I guess it is because you're giving then you start giving your minions your strength, which is just increased damage. But like, don't you want +4 on your
see the numbers?
Like, don't you want +4 for your second ascendancy?
I mean, it would be really nice.
Imagine +4 in Act 8.
How big is your raised zombie doesn't require a corpse? Like, what does that mean for gameplay?
Early on,
and them counting as corpses as well.
Early on, your zombies they kind of just they die, but you also just get to the point where they stop dying. So, not requiring corpses is nice, but it's not a deal breaker. But them counting as zombies means you can target them with
MS is gonna be insane with Baron if you're strength stacking.
Oh wait! Hold up. They are giving you MS because they are corpses.
Yes, that's what I'm saying with Baron. And
so you have like
mid to end game.
So you'd have like 14 of them. That's 14% increase, and there is no visible cap for this movement speed.
Yes,
they didn't cap it. So as you're killing shit, your movement speed is just
more MS. That's what I'm saying. I'm literally looking at a build that might not need shield charge to feel good as a minion build or mage blood, which is fucking insane.
We have to POB something for this. I'm going to make something. I have to. It is my duty.
If you make, I will play. I give you my word. Unless they drop something insane tomorrow that has my name written all over it. It's just the first one. We haven't seen anything else. This is insane.
Dude, this is dumb.
What would an AG?
This is actually dumb.
Anime weapon player wants? They definitely want marionettes, but like, what else would they want to take? They'll take marination and enervating presence.
They'll go marination because that'll give their AG more regen.
And they have 2 more points.
Then they have 2 more points.
Dude, feeding frenzy, skipping aggressive.
They'd go aggressive, to be honest.
I mean, skipping aggressive though.
They would go aggressive.
Marination.
Oh, for you, yeah. I mean, you you can go it and it's big quality. The question is, do you feel tanky enough, or are you fine going for the quality of life? Because it's like, it's more damage, it's way more damage, because it's not even a question, it's a lot more damage uptime. Now you get to move around more and your minions stay there, right? Like that is what's going to happen. And then you also have more base
depends on where
crits.
you get your setup to, because if you
But
go
like,
with the
if
juicy
you're going,
life-based pro gen, I could see you just going, you know what, okay. Like drop marination and then go feeding frenzy.
But here's the thing, and hear me out on this. If you go feeding frenzy, you have to go crits. Otherwise you're just wasting that node. You can't really scale it, but like, what other option? You just have to like do spirit offering and try to get some crit in there. Even if it's 40%. Because like, it feels so bad to pick an ascendancy and not get any stats for it. Because like, literally
20% of 4,500 life.
4,500 life, 10% is 450, so 900 ES flat.
So that I'm looking at your strength stacking setup. You had 4,500 life.
Yeah, and that was a life. That was a setup that didn't have a lot of life. Like I skipped out on a lot of life nodes. You could easily,
okay, so that could be huge.
You're looking at 6k, 7k for the traditional strength minion stackers. 6k would be 1200 ES flat. I'm pretty sure you can scale the ES you get from this, right? Like increase ES would scale that. So like, think about it.
I don't disagree. I am down. Listen, you know me, I'm the zombie believer. Here's the thing, right? Like, at what point do zombies feel good for clear? You know what I mean? Like, do I really need an AG for my zombies to feel good? Like, what does this mean in terms of quality of life? I don't know if you still have that build on standard. I'm actually just very curious. What does strength stacking zombies feel like to play?
I think I probably still have the build on standard. Probably. But it was, the thing is that build, the core of it wasn't even zombies, it was specters. Right? Yeah, it was
you use the ones that
get the ones that get extra stats from strength stacking, which you could honestly still go use. Here. POEDB.
Wait, how did they get extra stats? I actually didn't even know that's what the build was around. So
this is a stupid. It is actually a very stupid. I say this. Like, I'm looking at it like, what the fuck? It's more the count as corpse, so it's free DD, free offering. It's free all of that. I mean, I wouldn't use it as offering because here's the thing: if they count as corpses, I don't want to blow them up because I'll have to resummon them, right? But the thing is, like, they count as corpses, so you're just getting infinite movement speed. Because they are corpses and you're surrounded by them, you're surrounded by the corpses, and it's like, oh. So like, I feel like I would forego the specters, perfect runic skeletons. As for how the skeletons benefits, they have a node, they have a modifier that says 20% increased physical weapon damage per 10 strength. So that's what they are getting. Remember, strength already has an innate increased physical damage on it. So they are getting basically triple that. Because like, I think strength has a base of 1% for 5 strength. So 10 strength, you get 2% increased melee phys, but they are getting 20 for that same strength. So they're getting 22. More or less.
We were getting 2 minion ascendancies today.
I mean, I already feel like the Ranger is a minion ascendant because like his Wild Speaker.
Have you seen Wild
Speaker? I've not seen it, but like the name tells me it's minion, but like I don't want to look.
You need to look. You need to. I can't. This is insane.
Oh god, check the Ranger too. Oh, okay, let's do it. Let's see it. What am I looking at? Let's start from here. Feather scaled. Aspect of the avian. Aspect of the avian has no reservation. Nice. Then aspect of the avian buff effect. Also, aspect of the avian also grants avians this to nearby alien. Yeah, avian naturally gives its buffs to minions, but here's the thing about this above the clouds. One of them gives movement speed and player movement speed, minion movement speed, and then the second buff gives chance for double damage, and then player, I think, double damage as well. Like, those are the rotating buffs. This one doubles the chance for double damage because of triples it actually, because it's 20% increase. So it triples that base chance, or that chance, and then it gives both of them at the same time.
It's insane.
So they always have that double damage chance. This is Law of the Wild. So like, oh god, where is Stormblind when you need him? he's a minion player who just loves Law of the Wilds.
Wait till you see the rest of the stuff in here.
The Minion Discord is going crazy, as you might expect.
Just make sure you don't get spoiled. Make sure you actually get to see it.
Yeah, I'm not getting spoiled. Next one. Minions deal 1% increased damage per 5 dexterity. Huh? Oh, per 5 of your dexterity. Oh shit. So you can actually scale. You can scale dex stacker. Increase and reduction to this also affects you as. So this can be a minion build or a non-minion build. Then this leads up to boon of the first ones. On killing a rare monster, gain one of its modifiers for 20 seconds. Nearby enemies killed by anyone count as being killed by you instead. So you have Grave Bind for free, and you have
and Headhunter on a minion build. Can you imagine what the? That's insane. That's insane.
What is this?
That's insane.
What is this? What is this? Oh my god. What? I'm stun locked.
The amount of stuff people. 1 month is not enough. Like it's actually now it's defined. Like we knew this from the beginning, but now it's like it can't be a month.
Dude, what is this?
I need to close PoE and not open it for a while. I need time.
Okay. Yo, like free Headhunter? And no. No way to just give us free Headhunter. You and nearby party members share power, frenzy, and endurance charges with each other. You and nearby allies have Tailwind. So just free Tailwind.
Sounds really good.
Then we have Primal Instinct. Minus 50% to amount of suppressed spell damage prevent. Plus 100% chance to suppress? Dude, they just...
That's a 2-pointer.
They just give you full suppress. And make it so you reduce 65%? Dude, this is a broken... What is this?
That's a 2-pointer.
What is...
Like imagine entering maps with it.
Okay, wait, no. I'm misinterpreting it. It is 100% chance to suppress, but then you suppress less damage, I think.
Yeah, so you're still taking... Yeah.
So
that's what I thought you just said.
You're suppressing 35%, not... I thought it was like double
This
buff.
already exists in the game, by the way.
It does?
Yeah, it's either a mastery or something. I've seen that before.
It's more inspired learning. Inspired learning, is that it?
Yeah, it's inspired learning with the 1 modifier instead of all for 20.
With 4 notables allocated in radius when you kill a rare monster, you gain 1 of its modifiers for 20 seconds. Wait, so if you put it what is this? That's its range. So basically, this is inspired learning. Okay, you're talking about the Headhunter node. Yeah, it's inspired learning. Yeah. I thought you meant like this one. So this one. So now Flash of Teeth grants level 30 aspect of the cat's skill and then has no reservation. That into gain up to your maximum number of frenzy and power charges when you gain cat stealth. And then +1 max frenzy and power charge.
You could play this ascendancy in so many ways.
Wait. Aspect of the card, that's the one that gives you chance to avoid, right? Yeah, it gives you chance to avoid damage, right? It gives you increased cast, attack, and crit.
15%
and then 15% chance to avoid
damage.
and then stealth. But does this apply to your minions? It doesn't, right?
Doesn't it say that it'll apply to you and your minions on the ascendancy?
I don't think so. Let me just confirm that it doesn't apply to just you, right? Yeah, it doesn't. And then on the ascendancy, it doesn't. So, but here's the thing. whenever you gain cat stealth, which happens every... Okay, so there are two alternating buffs here. There's cat's stealth and cat's agility. Whenever you gain cat's stealth, you will gain all your charges, and this happens, and then cat's stealth I think lasts 4 seconds. Then cat's agility lasts 6 seconds, which is attack, increases your attack and cast speed for a longer duration. Okay, so basically oh no, cat stealth increases your character's stealth, giving it a chance to avoid all damage from hits, and increases your critical strike chance. And then cat's agility increases your attack and cast speed. And then it's 4 6 seconds, so basically 10 seconds base, which means in theory you should be able to have perfect uptime on frenzy and power charges, because by the time it's about to fall you gain cat stealth again. So you can have that and then use the where is it, you and nearby allies share charges, so like just like that your minions should have 4 charges, I think. Either way, this is a wild ascendancy. This is genuinely just it's insane. Ooh, it is insane. All right. Now let's see the other twos. You're like, dude, these two are bangers. Like, holy, they are fucking bangers. Even in non-minion build, this ascendancy is broken to the Scourge of the Wilds with this crazy value for deck stackers. This guy, right? This is just basically you take this node and you just have like however a lot of increased damage now. Let's say you get 500 decks, and a deck stacker would have way more than that. That's 100% increased damage that you're just getting for free from your ascendancy, and it just keeps scaling. No, it's at 150% of their value, so you get 100% minion damage increase, but you would get 150. Like the increase affects you at like 150. So yeah, have fun. This is sure. There's no universe where you take the ascendancy and you don't take boon of the first ones, right? Like it's just not possible. You want those modifiers. And that's wild. All right. Since we're already out of order, we might as well just continue with Shadow. We'll start with Lightless. 5% increase maximum life per Abyss Jewel affecting you. For a Spectre build, this would be insane because we have so many Abyss Jewels affecting us. So many. 5% increase mana per Abyss Jewel affecting you. Trigger level 30 Shade Form when hit. Increase skill effect duration. What's Shade for? Trigger this spell when you're hit. Makes you immune to physical damage and harder for enemies to detect for a duration. Huh? So wait. You take these 4 points and you're immune. What's its cooldown? Oh, it has a 40-second cooldown. Okay. And it lasts 3 seconds. Okay, that makes sense. I was like, there's no way they just make you immune to physical damage. Like it's not gonna happen, right? So that means you would want to try to stack as much skill effect duration so you're immune to physical damage as long as possible. Like being immune to physical damage is wild though. Can I just say it is wild? All right. What's next? You. Base crit chance for attacks with weapons is 12%. You are blind. Okay. And you can go out to Hue, which is shapeless. 50% chance to gain elusive on crit. Elusive is removed from you at 50%. Huh. So if you have a 100% crit chance, you just always be elusive. and elusive is 15% chance to avoid all damage from hits and increase move speed. All right, you can also go out to you, which is restless and shapeless. All of these have less. Yeah, they all have less. Restless. Enemies near corpses affected by your curses are blinded, so Asenath's gentle touch. Enemies killed near corpses affected by your curses explode, dealing 5% of their life as physical damage. Dude, you love this ascendancy. But you
remember how many zombies you were chilling at your 1700 strength level?
I don't know, like 12 to 14, something like that. I have a video. Just check how many. Keep in mind again, I didn't prioritize strength as much as I did, as much as I could have, just so you can get more zombies than what I had. How would you get your corpses to be cursed though? This doesn't give your curses. It doesn't give your curses the ability to affect corpses. Maybe this has synergy with that one of the ascendancy that curses enemies after they die. But it's not. Then it wouldn't be your curses. And then Fateless. So this is a 6-pointer. This is a 6-pointer. I just realized you have to go sightless if you're going this ascendancy, right? You have to go sightless. Okay, 6-pointer, Fateless. Your curse limit is equal to your max power charges. Oh. Really? Okay. So this is the ascendancy that Impending Doom will probably want. Maybe. Projectiles have a 50% chance to return to you. This just has Nimbus, directionless. It's just Nimbus. Projectiles are fired in random directions. Careless. Skills fire 2 additional proj. Waiting for a blind prophet ascendancy. Lol. Is there any I haven't seen yet? I've seen lightless, formless, fateless, shapeless, restless, careless, sightless, and directionless. All right, with the blind prophet. Yeah, I guess I see why you are blind. You have to be blind. If you're not blind, they'll stab your eyes. You gotta be blind. All right. All right. Next one, aristocrats, duelists. Gain 5 passive points. Oh, so we're just starting now with being the Scion, eh? Just for free. We're just the Scion because this is a mandatory ascendancy node. You can't not take it. So you have the 5. All its ascendancy small points are gain 1 passive skill point. Do you know how wild that is? So you would have 4 extra. You have 9 passive skill points from this ascendancy. 9. Okay. That's all I'm gonna say. Okay. You guys go into many different. So let's start here. Fancy foil cannot be frozen if dex is higher than int. 30% increased dex. So this is just a stacker class. Cannot be ignited if strength is higher than dex. Increased strength. Cannot be shocked if int. Increase int. And to be fair, you can actually go for 2 of these. Like you can go the dexterity and the strengths. And your strength just has to be higher than your dex. And your dex higher than your int. So your int just has to be lowest than dex, then strength. And you'd have increased strength and increased dex. So tri-stackers would love this ascendancy because it's just 30% increase of like at least 2 ascendants. 2 points if you needed to. PoE Gem Mercenary wants his ascendancy pack. Alright, what do y'all feed into? Items and gems have 25% reduced attributes, 5% increase damage per 5 of your lowest attributes. So you do want to go tri-stacker if you go this route. Like it's just tri-stacker. You want all of them to maximize the increased damage, but then you want this to, you want to plan out what is the lowest and what is second and what is third. Frozen has less. Yes, but if you're a dex stacker, you love the 30% increase dexterity. But you can also do like int and strength, right? You can just do, okay, your int is higher than your strength, so it's the highest, then your strength is higher than your dex, so this is the second highest, and then your dex is the weakest. All right, what's the second path? +1 to all skill gems. This is gemlin. This is straight up just gemlin. +3 level to all non-exceptional support gems. What? But it doesn't affect empower, so that's okay, I think. This is actually not that strong of a node. Centerpiece, 15% to quality of all skill gems. So you get an extra level, you get 15% quality, and then you gain 9 passive skill points. Actually, you can get both of them. But the fact that it doesn't affect Empower is kind of sad, because if it affected Empower, then you could profit big time, but what support gems do you really care about its level? Or you put it as meh? I'm not sure what support gem you like. This is meh, but for like tri-stackers are gooning at this. You already know tri-stackers are gooning at this. Like this is wild for them. Blind Prophet has potential, Puppeteer, and Waggle as wild. All I'm going to these two, I wasn't expecting. But like I'm going to POB something for this. A strength stacking zombie. Like I have to. It is my duty. Shoot.
So what do those specters do? The runic skeletons, like how do they interact with, because don't they give you weapon damage?
Yeah, but you don't care about weapon damage.
And what's the next thing they give that's good?
They don't give buffs. They
so
crush.
Why did you use them?
Why?
Well, why did you use the runics, the expedition specters?
Because they innately got more value from strength. They got 20% increased physical damage per 10 strength.
Oh, okay.
So your zombies are getting 2% per 10, 2% increased melee phys damage or something per 10 strength. They are getting basically 22% increased damage from that same amount of strength.
Sick.
And they crush on hits, which means they're applying a debuff that makes the enemy take more phys damage. I was not ready to see this ascendancy, this puppeteer. It is insane. It is insane. Like I'm just looking at this like I can't believe what I'm seeing, basically.
Literally everything I've loved about Minions all in one ascendancy.
Like what? I'm still shocked. Minion, they gave minions are aggressive as an ascendancy. I think it used to be necro ascendancy, is the funny thing. But like, what? So basically the nodes you would want to get for a strength stacker is, and keep in mind 25% increased strength is a lot of strength. Because on the tree you get what? You get, where is the node here? You get 8% increased strength, period, on the tree. That's all you're getting. We used to have charms and that was huge, but even those charms were like 8% each, and then you get like 3 of them to give you 24%. So even with 3 charms, it doesn't equate to that ascendancy. I will POB something 100%. Maybe tomorrow I do that. They still haven't told us when this event is.
I know. I have midterms next week, by the midterm break next week.
Oh shit!
It's not looking like it's gonna be. It's not looking like we're starting this Friday.
That's for sure.
Edge. So it'll probably be the Friday next week, I assume, or
Yeah,
2 weeks, which is exam season, which is not great.
it's probably next week. So if I had to pick, let me just pick 4 sentences that you would obviously go for. Graveyard shift, so you can zoom around, because why not? I mean, having over 20 corpses, just giving you movement speed at all. Like, you have 14 zombies. I think with this node, you might even just, if you wanted to, you could probably ignore the runic skeletons, go for the supports, specters, and prophets. You do that. You do flesh puppets. Rotten mites would be obviously another one. So I think if I had to say what order, if you're leveling League Starter, I think you go Graveyard Shift into Flesh Puppets into Rotten Mites. And then you go Marination as your fourth one. Because that's a lot of defense to just leave on the table if you're not. But then eventually, when you do sort out your defenses, you might drop Marination for Feeding Frenzy and try to scale a bit more crit. That might be what you do. Still not log it. I must stay calm and let the coding do the work. 15 Zobos is great for Carrion Golem buff too. Yeah. They're all going to benefit from your Carrion Golem buff, which is flat phase, and it's big profit basically. I think if I had to make an ascendancy with this, or make a build with this, I would actually scale cold damage. I would convert them to cold, and I'd scale hatred. I think that's what I would end up doing.
Wait, why? Fizz and Hatred don't have synergy anymore.
How?
They removed the Hatred, the Fizz tag on Hatred, didn't they?
No, they didn't. Hatred, they removed the more cold damage from Hatred, and they increased the Fizz to Hatred conversion. Or not conversion, but gain. Hatred right now is you and nearby allies gain 30 to 39% of physical damage as extra cold. So think of it this way. If you have 100% of your damage as physical like zombies do, this hatred at max at like level 20 would make it so you're now doing 100% as fizz and 39% as cold. Like basically you're doing the full fizz damage and then you're doing extra as cold. But then when you convert the initial damage to cold, you're now doing 139% of whatever fizz you had as cold. And then you can scale this by going flat physical, not flat cold, because flat phase would benefit from flat phase. Was it not here? Where did I take strengths? Yeah, flat phase would benefit from 1% increased melee phase that strength provides, which is what we're giving our minions. So by having 1% increased melee phase for every 5 strength, when we get to like let's say 1000, we have 200% increased melee phase. So then the flat phase damage we give them would go through that increased, then it gets converted, then it gets through our increased cold damage if we have any cold damage modifiers, and then we have our final damage number. Because this is not PoE2. It remembers that it's phase. It's going to, the increase is going to affect it as well. So we're actually free to convert. But now, whatever phase we get, it's counting for 139% of itself as cold because of the hatred that we're scaling. And this is ignoring aura effect, because aura effect would increase this 39% that hatred is giving us to a higher number, so like 40%, 45%, 50%. Suddenly you now have what if you give your zombie 10 fizz, they are going to be doing 15 cold once after the conversion without any increases, without the strength or anything. Just they'll be doing 15 cold damage. Do you see what I mean?
Do you think that's enough for them to freeze stuff?
I don't know. Minions hit fast. They typically don't hit hard. They will chill. I don't know if they would freeze. We could also go grip. We could also go grip of the council as well instead of Triad's grip. It gives, anytime I click on it, the fuck, it gives minions physical damage as extra cold, 20%. So this would be additive with the hatred, so then it's like 159% phase as extra cold. So if you to, but the only thing is it doesn't convert. So you'd go from like doing 100 cold, 100 physical damage to doing 159 physical damage with just the gain as if you use Grip of the Council. Whereas with Triad's Grip, you would convert it to cold. So you would then do 139 cold instead. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So like with the one, you're doing hybrid damage, but with the other, you're doing pure cold. So it all depends on like how like we decide to scale this. The big advantage of Grip of the Council is you're not locked into 4 green sockets that you have to deal with now. That is the biggest advantage of Grip of the Council. It's not a pain to craft 4 green sockets on Triads. It's a pain to theory craft, I guess, but it's a pain to have to use 4 green. Who needs 4 green? But I guess if you put,
yeah, because you don't actually need those.
Exactly. So you're just trying to make do with it. The typical way you would do it is you'd go hatred, you'd go phase run, second wind. What was the last green again? And dash. But like that means you're using dash as your blink skill versus frost blink that has a much further range, and you know it's just dash is just worse. But beggars can't be choosers.
You cannot.
And honestly, I would drop phase run because you can't use automation. If you could use automation, that'd be nice, but you can't.
Yeah, phase run without automation is insane.
Yeah, I didn't use phase run, so I don't know what I would use in that green socket then, but like surely not. So I'll have to think about it, but one big thing to note is Grip of the Council does provide strength as well. So we also do have that. Not a lot of strength, it's just 30, but like it's still strength. And all the strength matters for a strength stacker. Puppeteer.
I mean, listen, there's enough to play more, man.
Yeah, there is. Like it will have to be my third build because like the other two excite me more, but like it's such a strong node.
Puppeteer is so strong.
Give me a second.
Indian players, we've waited a long time for this. Breathe. Everything's gonna be okay. Our time has come. It's been many sad times, but it's all good. Our time has come.
All right, I'm back. What were we saying? Yeah, puppeteer. Poison seems really good through unholy might. Yes, it is, but there aren't good sources of unholy might aside the best source. There's only one really good source for it, and that's Witch Ascendancy Unholy Might. Because that just gives them unholy mights. Other than that, you kind of have to rely on this keystone that gives them unholy chance for unholy might on kill, and you can't really say which minion is getting the kill unless you're getting an AG that is then, you know, consuming the kills. So I don't know that you can rely on that. However, don't forget, physical damage can apply poison as well. So if you really wanted, you could just kill poison chance and the fizz is not wasted. Then that will be put under your feet and you'll want more. You mean minion? You mean when Arcane was talking about minion players or something? It's even here.
Yeah, I'm here.
Hmm.
I do have to go AFK any second here though for Magic Night.
Have fun. Yeah, these two nodes are these two ascendancies. I guess this might also be a season where I try spectral wolves. Because like, didn't you say level 20 and level 1 spectral wolves stack? Where you can have both of them, both wolves. Or something like that.
So, yeah.
Because in that case, you could literally just use level 20, then go Law of the Wild, and then you have both of them. Or you could even just use a rare weapon that has a dagger, you know, that has that. The problem with this one is, again, it's not supportable. It doesn't have support gems. That's one thing to note about this. It doesn't have support gems. I don't know how we would make that work. Well, yeah, it is. Like, if not for anything, this aspect of the Avian buff, because like, remember, aspect of the Avian is insane. Aspect of the Avian, it's actually insane. It is. The rotating move speed is 10 to 14% increased move speed and minion move speed, and then the second buff is 10 to 12% double damage and minion double damage. So with 200% increase effect, which is typically what comes with, I think, the chest piece. This is a chest pieces mod, except they double the effect, which is just wild. You're not getting triple that, so your minions would literally have 36% chance to deal double damage, and that, my friends, is fucking unheard of in PoE. Can I just say that? All right. Good luck. That is unheard of. It doesn't happen. Just 36% chance for minions to deal double damage. Then you combine that with this guy, which is under 6%. You're looking at 42% chance. Then you go for triple clusters or you go for one big cluster with renewal. Where is it? Herald of Agony, renewal. You go for double clusters with renewal. Now that's 10%. Now don't forget, on your double clusters, you can have 4 small clusters, which is another 10% each. So that's now 20%. So you go from 36 plus 6 to go 42, plus 10 to go 52, plus 10, 62, 10, 72. And if you were a mad lad, you would go for a third one, 82. No, a third one would be 77, and then 2 extra. That would then be 87. So you could have an 87% chance for minions to deal double damage while they are on max life. And with all that renewal, don't forget, each point of renewal is giving minions 1% regen, right? So that's 1, 2, 3, 6, 9. That's 9%. They're just healing 9% of their life every second, so they will be at full life. And then of course you give them leech. So then you have to ask your question, what is a minion that does really well with double damage? And honestly, Herald of Agony does really well with double damage. Really, really well. And then this would make you tankier. So the reality is Herald of Agony can also work on this ascendancy, which is ironic. You go double Avian, you go Tailwind, because Tailwind is multiplicative with, I think, action speed. And then you go Inspired Learning. Now this is a multiplier for your Agony. This is a big multiplier, and then you stack all those different sources. I mean, Herald of Agony does it actually want to stack Renewal on Cluster Jewels, because Herald of Agony wants this. It wants Virulence. But as an example, so minion chance to deal double damage. What is a good minion for it? Let me actually think about what minions I would want to have Tailwind and double damage. And move speed, of course. So it has to be a melee one because move speed is important. Zombies are good, of course. Golems, good. What about Golemancers? This is a ranger, so you can't get Golem effect and you can't get max Golem. So Golemancer is kind of dead already. SRS. They're not guaranteed to stay at full life, so maybe not. Summon Skellies could be if you go Blessed Rebirth as well. But you probably don't want to deal with that. Spectres. What about Spectres? Reaper? Reaper would love to deal double damage, but double damage doesn't interact with ailments. So you would have to then go Reaper without bleed. And Reaper already means you're not going other minions. But I guess what you could do is, if you go Reaper, is you could use your Spectral Wolves as the things that buffing your Reaper. You could do that. You know, unironically, the best build for this ascendancy might just be something along the lines of Absolution of Inspiring. Because you are the one dealing the damage, right? This gives you movement speed. This gives you double damage chance. I don't know if you can scale the double damage chance, but you have it. You can maybe scale. Can you scale the effect of aspect? I don't think so, right? But this would directly affect you as an Absolution build. Though I guess not this, but like you could then go in dex stacking or benefit from the dex. And then this would of course affect your hits as well. They're probably better recipients than Absolution of Inspiring. Now I'll have to think about them. Get Nicole, give me a second. Okay, I'm back. I almost feel like it's also a shame to have this and not take it, because it's just free suppress, even if it's weaker suppress. Spectre Warlord jumping everywhere. I mean, yeah, but I think he just has pretty poor base damage as well. Dominating blow. Dominating blow is not a bad one. It is not a bad one. What? Why would I want to deck stack? I guess you could always still go Tailwind, right? Tailwind is just big on everybody. And is there any minion? How does this work? For something like this is fine. Hear me out on this. Hear me out. There's a minion. Gemlin Legionnaire. You know, I'm just now realizing the Ascendancy is actually a monster in PoE 1. No, it's not them, but these guys are in Act 8. Not Gemlin Legionnaire. Let me see if I can find out. Chevrons. Chevron something. Labyrinth. Where are monsters? Or better still, discharge. Discharge monsters. Chevron's Gemlin. That's the one I was thinking of. Chevron's Gemlin. Basically, whenever they gain a charge, everybody around them gains a charge. They have this on a 4-second cooldown. They can use it, cast discharge, and now they're chargeless. But if I were to be an insane charge generator somehow, I don't know how I would go about it. I know this obviously is one easy way to give all of them 3 charges to explode with. I know there is also Dodri's elixir. Dodri's elixir. Okay, so it is an elixir. I kind of just forgot. Gain charges on use. You take % of your max life as chaos damage on use. It removes a big chunk of your ES on use. You slap this on, you use the charge, you gain all those charges, your minions gain them, they discharge, you get from your ascendancy again, they discharge. You are a ranger, so you can get flash sustain as a forbidden flesh and flame. So you can get that one again. Or maybe you just go full charge monkey specters. But they are specters, so like that's a problem. Good luck, buy one. 5% chance to grant a frenzy charge to nearby allies on hit. Forest Tiger. Yeah, I mean, there is that as well, right? You try to get him. Oh, yeah. You know what I could do? the easiest way I could do it is the easiest way I could do it, honestly, is going necromantic ages. And which charges would I want to stack here? Probably lightning and fire. So that's power and endurance. Yeah, that's not really a combo. I can go power and cold, or lightning and cold, or fire and cold. I'd go lightning and cold, which means actually I can kind of go all three. But anyways, yeah, I can go all three. But the way you do it is necromantic ages and Victario's charity and replica Victario's charity. This would give, if I go necromantic ages, it will give all my minions chance to grant frenzy charge on hits. So they would all get that. Then replica Victario's charity gives my AG endurance charge on hits as well. And if we're all sharing this, like he gets it, so we all get it. And then, so he would have a 5% chance to get endurance on hits and 5% chance to gain frenzy on hits. Then we'd probably give him a grave bind. So he would get a lot of frenzy charges as we're killing, giving everybody frenzy charges, giving them more explode, giving them more, you know. It keeps rotating, and as they all explode, they're all hitting. They could all generate the charge I'm giving them via necromantic ages, and then we also have more charge generation. So like it's an option. Welcome back. What happened to?
You're cancelled. Jared had to do something.
Rip. I was just theory crafting.
I mean, I've been here for like 15 minutes, so I've been listening.
Oh, okay. So you know what's going on.
Yeah, Cold Iron Point, Victario's, Copium, yeah.
Not Cold Iron Point, but yes, Victario's. Basically,
there's a lot of Reddit threads about Herald of Agony.
Really?
Yeah, I've seen like 3 different ones just today, and a lot of people talking in them too.
Yeah, I would really like to know the date when this is. I don't know if I should, because basically I'm in a point where I want to wait until there's an announced date before I post my theory crafted guides. But I plan on making a guide for all of them. Or everything I'm theory crafted that I think is fine. So which is Herald of Agony and Absolution right now. In practice, in things, it's so strong you can use any minion. You mean for the charge stacking? I mean, charges are very good. But like I'm thinking, currently, the ways I would generate charges would involve, if I had to, endurance charge would be Warlord. Also, I'm forgetting one thing. This guy, once I get hits, they are getting endurance charges every second, which they're just exploding for, right? Tricky part is you start as ranger. This is correct. That is actually very, very true. You have to figure out the ranger pathing. I know most ranger builds, they go very defensive and then they go for an elegant hubris with like 4 slumlords, and then they try to make that work, and then they just don't path towards the top left. But I feel like if I was a ranger, I might just path to the top left, because I mean, but that's so many points is the thing. So many points. But basic, were you here for the part where I theory crafted that you can get up to 87% minion chance to deal double damage?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah. That's where it started from. You can actually get 87% chance from minions to deal double damage, which is insane. It's unheard of in PoE. It is actually unheard of. Like genuinely.
And it's so excited.
Yo, there's a lot of new shit for me to play with. This is the most fun period for me because I get to genuinely just play around Theorycraft stuff, and it's for the game that has the best planner. If this was for Torchlight, I wouldn't give as two fucks about it. I'll be honest, because like their planner, like the Macro Planner did the best it could, but it's nothing compared to POB. I'm sorry, it just isn't, right? Like we can all agree for that. So like if it was for that, I wouldn't care. If it was for Diablo, I wouldn't. Like it's nice, you know, but like it's because it's PoE and I get to like there are all these, like there was a meta, this is how things were, and then they just threw everything out the window. I love that for some reason. A lot more than I thought I would. Like just the idea of being able to play around with these new ascendancies. These build enabling ascendancies, I should say. If they were boring ascendancies, then no one would care. I wouldn't care. But like they are actually build enabling. And I love that simple fact. TLI Fun is optimizing your zoom, not your build. Exactly. With TLI, you kind of already have an idea what you're going to do. You just want to. The problem is getting it in game. With PoE, the problem is the plan. Once you have your plan, then getting in the game is like it's a decent challenge, but it's like it's the easier parts for some. I was supposed to be making a low budget version for this, a low budget-esque version. Okay, let's continue. I don't know where I want to put you. I'll leave you in the gloves for now. For now. Automation, steel skin. Automation, steel skin. On a low budget, I would 100% want offerings. I wouldn't be able to trigger, which is sad, but I would want it. Maybe I ignore block. Now I don't want to ignore block. Jesus, that would feel so rough. But like real talk, if you're Herald of Agony on a budget, you probably want to ignore block and then go double code iron points. I mean, that would just make it so you're giving them 6 levels, which is huge. But then no block is also kind of just wild. I think I just go for a rare shield here. It's the most budget friendly thing I can do. I think I go for slightly more armor. Actually, on second thoughts, we go ES base. Because levels are like the biggest thing we can give them. Levels and chance to block. Let's just plan for something decent like that. If we can afford a +1, we go for it. It doesn't need any other stats, just +1. Of course, we go for this as well. There are minions damage on bow. If you can craft a bow and do that, and you would find success. You know, you can have a bow with level of socketed skills and go with that, but that's typically not cheap. And even then, you then need your 5-link to be a bow, which again, and the only way to get minions deal increased damage is the only way to do it is using essences, and you wouldn't want to use essences. I think for helmet, it's pretty. I think everything just will end up being rare pieces. Helmets is. Do I want armor bases or both? Let me think to myself. How do I want to trigger skills? With a cold iron point, I can use Cyclone, I think. I can use Cyclone, cast while channeling, and then 2 spells. I also need to worry about poison chance. Yeah, I think low budget it just has to be, right? Which means I probably want to get Resolute Technique. Which means I probably want to drop some more points somewhere. One, 2, 3. Removes 1, 2. Maybe 3. Maybe 4. But early on, I do need armor. Early on, I do need armor, but we're going to stick with this. Cyclone. Both solves a lot of problems with Mana Forge Frenzy and the early. Talking about that animated weapon seems okay in Wild too. What do you mean? Do you mean in Puppeteer or in Wild Speaker? Because like animate weapon here, animate weapon would not like this, or I should say chains of command would not like this, because chains of command wants your AG to be the person that those enemies count as being killed by, not you. So chains of command would not want Boon or the first ones because of this, the grave bind line. Do we have any more in the FAQ? Nothing. So chains, so like animate weapon can, like, if it's not chain self-cast, yeah, self-cast could, let me see, why would you want this for self-cast? If I were to go self-cast for this ascendancy, I'd obviously pick these two. Number 3, I'd want to get this, so I guess it's just good, it's just classic Tailwind, Boon are the first ones. I think that makes the most sense. And if it's self-cast, you can have non-animated minions, so you can have specters for generating these charges, hosts, carnage, and warlord, and suddenly you have all 3 charges being generated, and all members of your party are getting, like, basically one carnage chieftain does his cry or whatever, and everybody gets the frenzy charge. Same thing with the same thing with the host chieftain. He does it once, everybody gets 3, because they would get 1 and share it with the others, and then you would get and share it, and either way, I think each this allows you to have all three, so you'd have all three charges. I think that's how that works. But yeah, Wild Speaker is also really good.
They released some bangers today.
Dude, I wasn't ready.
I feel like I always think I'm ready. I'm like, all right, it's gonna come out, and like I've already seen some good ones. There's no way that it gets better, and then I must proven wrong like crazy.
We still haven't seen a second Marauder. I wonder why. We've seen. I was so sure Marauder would come out today. We've seen 3 Rangers, we've seen 3 Shadows, we've seen 3 Duelists, and 3 Templars. The Witch's third and 2 of Marauders are missing. And then, of course, Ascendant.
Scion too, right?
Yeah, that's Ascendant. So that's 4. 1 Witch, 2 Marauder, and then Scion. We can imagine a dirty discharge build like that with Spectre as the battery. Yeah. I mean, better I don't know, but battery crazy for minions. Duelist has no love. I mean, Paladin is okay. I think it's not for me, but I can see how you can use Paladin very effectively with the increased damage taken. Because that's actually still a strong stat. For the aristocrats, it's just tri-stackers eating good there. Like all those Captain Lance tri-stacking, they love this ascendancy. Blind Prophet, I think Blind Prophet has its use. It just got Nimis for free. But it was also somewhat underwhelming. Maybe it's because I started off with this one, and it's like 40-second cooldown is just it's not a good skill to start off on. So to say, like it's just not. Cast while channeling, ball lightning of orbiting. Firestorm of Pelton. And then I just need to make sure. So this goes in my boots. This is Ray Spectre. That means this goes in my helm. And so does this. So we have one more socket for helm. Then we have Arcanist brand. Wait, I can do this instead. Shield, Despair, Arcanist brand, Desecrates, Spirit's Offering. Is this better than Flesh Offering? 2.067. Nah, Flesh Offering is better, thank God. Where did Arcane Cloak come from? So this is in our shield. And then in our main hand weapon, we have Tempest's Shield. We have Convocation. We have we don't have an aspect, right? Time to go to bed. All right, French. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it. Good night. See you tomorrow, most likely. I would need a mad lad to cook something up with that. With the blind prophet. Yeah. I can't think of anything off the top of my head, especially minion related. Non-minion related, I can see projectile builds wanting it. Anything that maybe even LS or something, but like minion build, there's no hope. Zero hope. What was the last aura we had here? It was Herald of Purity. Is Despair still the best? Let's just confirm that chance to poison is still very strong. Yeah, only Empower beats it. And then damage on full life, only Empower, right? Yes, only Empower. Vicious Proj, only Empower. I just need to make sure everything is only beaten by Empower, because Empower is one I don't want to get. Okay, cool. Then of course for amulets, we'll be going we don't go rare. I think we just go Jinx to Juju. Because 10% damage reduction is just 10% damage reduction. It's huge. We could choose to do something else, but it's the cheapest option. At least it should be. I did say I wanted to. I guess we don't need to hit, right? The problem is if we're not hitting with our Cyclone, then I do not know if not hitting with Cyclone is a bad thing. Because hear me out. If we don't hit with Cyclone, the spell should be enough with all the poison chance we're getting. But hitting with Cyclone, like especially at just like what, 65 virulence? What am I saying? We're not 65. Wait. This is 45. This is 10, 20, 65. And then I'm getting 25 from my ascendancy. So that's 70, that's 90 actually. So yeah, okay. That means hitting with my... There is no way your low budget is at 5 mil DPS right now. What the hell is this? I would like to reduce from 1194. I'd like it to be 1190. How can I do this? Let's hear out. 92. 8%. 8%. Block is doing decently, but not great. And honestly, I would still love to get this wheel for the res. But it looks like everything here is going to be rare. I can't think of a reason why I would want a unique helm, body. Gloves would be nice, like, you know, Trad's grip, but I don't think getting 4 wide Trad's grip that like early is the most feasible. So I would love that to be the case. I think 92 is just fine. I think we'll leave it at that. Yeah, there's no other unique I would rather have for the low budget because everything else would be expensive. So let's just confirm. Ninja. Tell me we have Necropolis here. Settlers of Conflux, Ray class versus BPL. Bruh. So he got rid of Necropolis. Sag. I guess we just checked that then, but like it's not reliable. A 4C unique right now. Been 3C for the longest. Doesn't have really old data, but I have no reason to believe it would be expensive. So helmets. I still haven't decided if I want armor or armor EV. Or armor ES rather. Honestly, I think I just want ES. The reason I think I just want ES is by having more ES. By having more ES, I should be able to more properly handle the channel cost of this cyclone. But this is 16. No, wait. I'm missing out on something. These just need to be level 1s. So they are not going to cost anything to channel and hit. And just to confirm, my poison chance is not the greatest, right? It is 30%, right? 55 for spell skills. Oh yeah, there's that too. I don't think tattoos would be cheap to get, but like having those tattoos would be really helpful. What else is there besides tattoos to get poison chance? Honestly, early on, I think we just take the fact that we're squishy, give up future guilt and just embrace future nostalgia. It would help us cap chaos and to give us 20% poison chance. Then later on we can unspec it and go for Herald of Purity, which means you don't need to be here right now, which means we can actually put something else here. Cross blink. Yeah, there literally is no free anything. Then raise specters. What specters do I want? Carnage Chieftain is a no-brainer. He is a no-brainer. I'm using endurance charges, yes I am. Minions are easy. Frenzy. Power charges barely do anything. During clear, my minions would have chaotic might, and that would be nice, but the enemy is in fact poisoned. I don't think we have 15 withered stacks yet. Right now, it's only Herald of Agony that withers. I think there's a key. What about Chaos Golem of the Maelstrom? I guess we could use all the Maelstrom, right? But I guess in this stage, we also don't have much regen, so going for dropping Stone Golem would be greedy. Because we don't have the Watcher's Eye for life on hits, even though I think it could be cheap. Very early. Like I don't, as much as I said this in the league starter, I want it to kind of be so low budget that it can kind of be a league starter if needed. So we don't have the Watcher's Eye life on hits. We don't have life on block, even though we can get it. That'll be more levels that we just don't have access to. What else is there? No life on hits. No life on block. No wither chance. I'll put this at 5 for now. My Herald of Agony attacks how many times a second? Heal spike. 4.3 times a second, which means one wither stack on average, right? In that 1 second and 2 seconds, then it should drop. We need a source of wither on hit or wither. I can't just keep sacrificing PDR. Stone Golem. I think I just have to do it. I think I actually just have to do it. Now, I don't know how often of the Maelstrom. Let me see. Unlike the original skill, the drone does not provide a physical damage reduction buff. It cannot use its cascade skill and use an empowered version of the Chaos Sandstorm that deals chaos damage over time. Has larger effect and applies Wither to enemies in its AoE. Chaos dots with a duration of 8 seconds and an 8-second cooldown. It is affected by modifiers to golem spell damage. If multiple chaos golems are summoned by only the aura that deals the most damage will affect the enemy. Damage from multiple auras do not stack, but each can apply stacks of Wither. So yeah, this is just, it doesn't say how often it does it though. So let's see, we don't have a PoE DB, right? YouTube. Captain Lance. The fuck was that? Brave New World? Captain Lance Chaos Golem.
Hello and welcome, Exiles, to my Chaos Golem of Maelstrom build. This is my once a league mandated minion build. I like to do minion builds at least once per league, just to get a feel for it, just to try to expand my knowledge. A lot of times there's things I learn from doing these builds that end up helping me in other areas of the game. Along with, it's just fun to try something new, try something I'm uncomfortable with, force myself into deep water that I might not necessarily know how to swim in, and just see what happens. Now, this character, I wanted to build around the new Transfigure gem that makes the Chaos Golem have a bigger and basically more powerful Chaos dot Death Aura style attack. The interesting thing about this is it's a thing that doesn't stack. So normally when you have golem builds, you try to have a couple of extra golems for your primordial harmony damage scaling, and then you try to have a bunch of the same golems, so you have multiple golems all dealing damage. But if I had 2 Chaos Golem, all it really does is gives me a bit better clear, but it doesn't really increase my single target. 2 golems having their death aura both on the same enemy deals the damage of 1 golem with 1 death aura. It doesn't stack. Now, that being said, how good is the death aura? It's just kind of pretty middle of the road, I'd say. The clear, I think, is kind of bad. It's okay in the context of doing something like Harbinger or Abyss or bossing, but the second you want to do something like Legion, you're going to have a bad time. And as for the single target, I think it's decent for the budget, but doesn't really scale into any sort of really strong DPS build. It has a pretty low ceiling, I would say. It goes decently for your initial budget, and then after that, scaling it past that, it's going to be pretty expensive and not super, rewarding or crazy high in scaling. Now, the idea behind the character was I was going to build into the Squire due to the Squire being cheap. This is part of what makes it really good for the price. Squire's really cheap this league. Next league, that might not be the case. What Squire allows us to do is make a nice, cheap multi-link wand and end up having like a pseudo 8.5 link, because you'll see we have efficacy and more damage on this thing, along with +2 support. So that's like 2.5 links there. And then you have your normal 6 link due to just having the Squire plus a one-hand weapon. Now, what does this end up meaning? It means we get a decent amount of damage links that are all pretty dang good. For example, the +2 support gives me an extra 2 levels with Empower. It's almost like having +2 gem levels somewhere else on the build. You add in something like Awakened Void Manipulation. This is very high value. That gives a level and a lot of chaos damage. You add in things like Awakened Minion damage. A lot of decent damage multiplier there and a level. You add in things like Control Detect. Decent amount of damage. So that's like 2.5 links there.
What do you say was the budget again?
Multi-link wand and now, for rewarding or crazy high in scaling. Decently for your initial budget, and then after that, scaling it past that, it's going to be pretty expensive and not super.
Oh, he didn't say it.
Part of what makes it really good for the price. Squire's really cheap this league. Next league, that might not be the case. What Squire allows us to do is make a nice, cheap multi-link wand and end up having like a pseudo 8.5 link, because you'll see we have efficacy and more damage on this thing, along with +2 support. So that's like 2.5 links there, and then you have your normal 6 link due to just having the Squire plus a one-hand weapon. Now, what does this end up meaning? It means we get a decent amount of damage links that are all pretty dang good. For example, the +2 support gives me an extra 2 levels with Empower. It's almost like having +2 gem levels somewhere else on the build. You add in something like Awakened Void Manipulation. This is very high value. That gives a level and a lot of chaos damage. You add in things like Awakened Minion damage. A lot of decent damage multiplier there and a level. You add in things like Controlled Destruction. Pretty good damage link. That also works with the Maelstrom. The Maelstrom scales with % damage increases or modifiers to spell damage. So I believe this works on the Chaos Golems dot, as well as we have Ink AoE, which should work on the dot along with making it bigger. If you got a little bit lucky on the craft, you hit something like Ink AoE. I did that. I didn't want to end up using this because it would be expensive to replicate. You could end up going for Swift Affliction here for even more damage. Now, as for the wand craft, super simple. You just awaken Orb Efficacy with more spell damage. Nothing really too complicated about that. And then all you need to do is annul off if you get an extra. If you don't have an open prefix, you have to annul off the prefix to craft +2 supports. Basically, it's going to cost you a couple Awakener Orbs, but the bases should be pretty cheap, and it should be an easy craft all in all. When you get down to it, it's just a basically 3-stat item where you're guaranteeing 2 stats with Awakener Orb. As far as I can tell, pretty straightforward. Hopefully should be easy to replicate. Now, as for everything else, when it comes to making a character on a budget, one of my favorite items is Atula's Hunger. The reason I like this is it allows you to have a bunch of bad gear. And
okay, so
cheap, and it works. My rares and my Stygian belt and my Dragon Fang, all that stuff, super cheap, and it works out pretty well.
So he didn't talk about with
I really like this because it's something you can use on basically any build that is in meta. For example, I bought this perfectly divine 10 all res 10 reservation for 20 chaos, and there were multiple that were one-off perfects for 20 chaos. Basically, there was a bunch of these, and it's just easy to grab something like this anyways, and there you go. So that was the idea of getting some pretty cheap gear that had some decent bang for the buck. And then as for scaling the build, because we only need 1 Chaos Golem, it was easy to get extra golems into the build. Now, I want to note something very powerful, and I think the most interesting thing I learned from this build is the Golem of Hordes.
Oh, look, it's Lenny.
You to get essentially 2 max golems into your build without investing into maximum golems. Essentially, it gives you the old Anima Stone without investing into Anima Stone and having the extra gems in your build. The way it works is, normally our maximum golems would be, like if I hover over this Chaos Golem, our maximum golems for this thing, it should say 3 max summon golems. And it's going to say that for my Stone Golem. And depends on wither stacks, I think. The Withering Presence, you have 2 more Primordial Harmonies. So you would upgrade your damage, you'd apply the Wither faster, but you'd sacrifice next. If you were going to try to go here, I think we're in the range of around 3 to 7 million. I don't really know. Depends on Wither stacks, I think. We are inflicting Wither with a Cultist. I stole the Withering Presence.
Oh, Cultist.
Ultimately, this is just more of a quality of life thing. It isn't really min-maxed. If you were going to try to go for like better single target, you should do something like Wither Totems. You should lose a bit of quality of life by losing your faster casting, losing your faster attacks. You can do stuff like that, and then instead of having the Withering Presence, you have 2 more Primordial Harmonies. So you would upgrade your damage, you'd apply the Wither faster, but you'd sacrifice quality of life. I don't like to sacrifice quality of life, so I went with Withering Presence. It was cheap, and it was a chill way to apply some Wither.
Okay, so he went Withering Presence. I mean, they apply Wither, but I'm not entirely sure the Wither they apply is stacking fast enough. I don't know if it's like once a second. PoEDB doesn't tell me, and like I don't know. PoE Chaos Golem of Maelstrom with a frequency. Hmm. I don't know. I don't know how much wither stacks to put for this. In theory, it could be really good. It could be really bad. If it applies once a second, then it's bad. If it applies multiple times a second, then it's good. I don't know. I don't know the rate at which it applies. I doubt POB those. Yeah, I don't know. Oh well. I think 6 is a decent spot. Not greedy, not bad. I would replace Frostblink with Withering Withering Step. The problem I have is I wouldn't want to play, like, there's no low budget build I'd want to play that wouldn't have a dash, a blink. That just seems like a rough time, I'll be honest. Like, it just seems, even if you have phasing, you probably don't want to do it. All you need is one map that just has a shitty layouts with like stairs in the middle of rooms, and now you're having a shitty time because you can't just blink over the ledge. So it's not really a replacement. I feel like there was a node that gave you Wither, very easy access to Wither, but I can't remember where it is. Oh well. I think this is fine. I think this is a fine POB for a low budget. Because, like, I still haven't, let me actually add all the other items. They're very straightforward. Nothing crazy. All we're going to do is go for probably just pure ES bases, because actually no, this would be ES EV, because we need the green sockets. We need a lot of green sockets. And then we just want life. We just want decent life. Nothing crazy. And that's it. Nothing crazy. Just life. Of course, you want Kappa res. 4 white triads grip might not be the cheapest thing to get, especially early on. So I guess one thing we could do, we could cheese this. It's not the greatest, but because we have so much fizz, that's an extra few 100k, like 100,000 damage and max virulence. It doesn't really help our ministry, especially because we're poisoning, but like would be a decent consideration for a low budget. Nah, I won't go for. I'm not gonna go Triad grip. I'll just go red. I'll just go red gloves. Yes. Ishitia base. Go for life. Craft minion damage. Make sure it's max, and then for boots, where's my Ray Spectre? It's a level 20 gem, 21 plus with plus level, so nothing crazy. So, all right. So for boots, we just go ES bases. And by the way, in case you're wondering why we're going ES bases when we don't really care about the ES, it's simply so we don't need to go this ham on ES, to be honest. But it's simply so our recharge rate beats our mana spending rate, so to say. So long as that happens, we're fine. Let's go armor, ES, boots. Movement speed is the priority. Life is the secondary. And then just rest past that. Ring, you just go for any rare ring. Probably. Nah, we don't need an amethyst ring. We are overcapped on res, so we just go ruby ring as an example, or topaz. Either, like, it's all fine. We just want life and res. We don't really care about anything else. Just life and res. That's all we need. Belts. No darkness enthroned for us. We're just going to go for a regular heavy belt. We'll go for leather belts. Because free life. We go for life. And then we want res. With our chaos res capped, I do think going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 items is enough to cap on res. Pretty sure it's enough. Item wise, we're chilling. It's just I'm shook. 7 mil DPS on a low budget is kind of just wild. Now, granted, the virulence is stacking, is carrying, and honestly, I'm not 100% sure how well we stack up to 90 virulence. I don't know if we have enough hits to warrant it, but with this cast while channeling, I'm inclined to believe that at the very least. Let me see. Maybe I want to replace one of them with faster attacks. Oh, I don't think I even need to worry about this. It's just going to trigger as soon as it can, which is every 0.3 seconds for cast while channeling. So that means it will trigger 3 times a second. Well, I guess it's slightly more than 3. It's like 3.63. So it will trigger 2 point something times a second. So I think that should be fine, genuinely. But I do need to give it some flat chaos damage. Circle of Nostalgia does that, so I actually don't need to worry about that anymore, so never mind. This is to attacks and spells, right? Yeah, so Cyclone can inflict. This is no elemental damage, which doesn't stop us from dealing physical, which is what we need. Alright, we're chilling. We're chilling. I think this is fine. This is a very fine league starter, I think. Level 92, 7 mil DPS is, again. I can't mentally fathom that it's this good on a budget, because these will not be expensive to get. Maybe I should remove the life from here. It's also not tanky at all. Like, when I cap my res, it would be, you know, tanky-ish, but it's not really tanky. I should also probably get this ball. Hey, we're not really getting juice sockets, to be fair, that are one away, because ain't nobody can afford that right now. At least that's the idea. All right. Overall, a success. What do I want to put in here as a cheap thing? I think at this point, it has so much flat fizz, so much increase, that just doesn't make sense to give it any flats. So it's just to get like reckless defense. If reckless defense is cheap. I don't think there's a point in checking Ninja at this point, because like it's not giving me information that I particularly need, because this isn't league starts. Reckless defense. This is a cheap amulet or cheap jewel, so I think I can probably use it. The hits against you deal crits is kind of unfortunate, but like we have this, so long as we get the poison on them before they can hit us. Oh, by the way, doesn't Cyclone have like reduced movement speed? It has less movement speed. Is there any Cyclone I can go for that doesn't have that? Gain more attack speed per stage, less movement speed per stage. Yeesh. Max 6 stages. I'd rather take the 20% less movement speed from here. But how do I make that faster? Because I'm not going to want to use this. I guess it just means I only activate this in packs. That's kind of what it means, I think. Tap res and attributes with open suffixes plus 200% elemental resistance. So we have a max of 28k, 25, and then phase max it is just, it's struggling. Our life regen is also struggling, but I mean, we're gonna have a life flask, so it is what it is. It is what it is. Am I really only using Tempest Shield? I would have liked to be able to fit Arctic Armor in here, so I think it's an Arctic Armor angle, I'll be honest. But if I'm using Cyclone to cast, I'm never still, so it's never mind. Arctic Armor isn't the best. It's a Petrified Blood angle, I think. I mean, I'm barely regenerating already. Might as well go Petrified Blood. Yeah, I'll be on full life. Are you channeling this? Yikes. I mean, this doesn't count. This doesn't count. What do you call it? It doesn't count flask, quicksilver, but like, yikes.
Please.
So when, what's up?
Hey, Deconic.
Yes. Why did you just call me and saying please?
I'm being chased. He's live. Don't do this, please. Stay here. I need proof.
Your last words will be televised.
Said my last words would be televised.
All right. I think this is fine. All right. Cool. I think with this done, I think we can end stream here. Low budget POB done for the Herald of Agony. I never thought I'd see a minion build get to 7 mil DPS on low budget, but it all depends on how good my virulence uptime is. And that I can't vouch for how good or bad it is. We just kind of have to see when the time comes. Is there a brand? No, I'm already using a brand. Never mind. All right. I think this is a good point to end. Tomorrow we are going to be theory crafting a strength stacking zombie mancer using the what's the name of that ascendancy again? The puppeteer. So that's what we're going to be doing tomorrow. We're going to be picking up that POB. Then we're obviously going to do main endgame version first, see what the damage numbers look like, and then we're going to make a league starter for it. And so that would make what our third build, because like I know that one is going to be solid. How solid? We'll see, but like it's going to be solid 100%. But yeah, thank you for stopping by. I will be back tomorrow. Till then, good night.